The story for Sam's Comics, the movie, was that it's a story in and of itself, how the story came about. We, I mean, I had been considering on and off whether or not I really wanted to do a movie version of the comics pretty much since 2008 was probably the first time I thought of the idea, but I didn't do anything with it because that was a period when I wasn't making movies. I was working on developing my filming skills. That never happened. And in December of 2010 is when I seriously started reconsidering the comics movie, and by that time I had joined the MCC Film Club. So the way they had it laid out was that you would go to them and you would present your script, and they would choose if they wanted to make that script into a feature. And so when January rolled around, the next semester started at MCC, and I went with them with 3 scripts. The third script was Sam's Comics, which wasn't even written. It was just a story. I kind of remember they were intrigued by the comic story because I described it very detailedly. I don't even know if detailedly is a word, but I described it in a very detailed way, so they could tell that I had the story, even though I hadn't written it yet. But ultimately they decided to go with another project, and I decided I would not write the script at all for Sam's Comics. Then, I don't remember when it was probably like March maybe. The script that they had picked didn't fall through, so Travis came to me and asked if I wanted to finish up the comic script, and I was happy about that, so I started working right away, cranked out the first draft of the script in about a little less than 2 weeks maybe. And then when I showed it to Carl the first time, he was club president, showed it to him, and he read the first 2 scenes, which is like the first 3 pages maybe, and he gave it back to me and said, "Nobody talks like that, go back and rewrite all the dialogue." I was like, no, I'm not rewriting all the dialogue. I went back and edited most of it, but I didn't do a total rewrite like he wanted. Then came the 3rd draft, 4th, 5th, eventually up to the 6th, which was the intended shooting script. Even when we got to that point, though, things got a little complicated. That was mostly due to casting. We see, the characters in the original comics were all based off of friends of mine. They all were caricatures of them. So I told the club early on that I wanted to do this. When I wanted to do this movie, I said I'm going to offer the roles of the characters to the original people who inspired the characters. We held auditions for the movie, but they didn't go over very well. We had a grand total of 4 people audition, and Carl and Travis were 2 of them. Travis was the only one who was cast for the role he auditioned for. Carl had auditioned for the part of Ryan, but I cast him in the part of Jack instead. That was just the first of many things. We had someone cast to play Rachel. I don't even remember who it was anymore, but that person I never met, and she backed out right before the first script reading, so we didn't have a Rachel. And Rachel was a smaller part in the film, in the script, so I decided just write Rachel out of it, and gave most of her lines to Kenzie in the script. Once we started filming, though, Shannon, who had been cast to have a small cameo role, Shannon agreed to play Rachel. The script went through so many changes. Like from day 1, we had to start compensating for things like the first scene we ever filmed was the picnic scene, and in the script Nick was supposed to be there, but he wasn't available that day. But we had been trying to schedule filming days already, and that was like once or two or three times we had already scheduled and then had to cancel. So at this point in time, I did not want to cancel again. I said, Nick's not that important in the scene, let's just run it without him. So, and that cut out like one or two jokes automatically, and that's kind of the way it went through filming. If somebody wasn't there, we just had to run it without them, and then as a result, certain jokes would start being omitted. Eventually, it came down to the point where it wasn't going to be a comedy script anymore, it was going to be a drama. I think it officially ended when we dropped an entire sequence in the film, which I was really upset to get rid of. It was a scene showing Sam, Molly, and Nick in the kitchen cooking a fancy dinner for Bailey and Jack. We had to cut that scene because we were running out of time shooting Bailey's scenes. We had a very limited time to shoot with her because she was going to be leaving for college in August. So we started filming in July. So go figure. We came down to what I called the crunch week. Was Bailey's last week in Illinois before she would leave for Cincinnati, and we still had like 4 scenes to shoot with Bailey in them now that we had dropped the kitchen scene. That week was crazy stressful. We only filmed 2 days that week, which made it even harder. One day we filmed 2 scenes, the other day we filmed 5 scenes, and we didn't even film the whole scenes. We just filmed all the shots that Bailey had to be in, and that was I don't even know how to describe it. It was so messed up. But we got it done, and when we were filming it though, we got so close to the end, and the sun was starting to go down. We were this close we could shoot all the outdoor stuff and then go inside, and it wouldn't matter if it was dark out. But then the battery in the camera died, and so we had to wait for it to recharge. And while we were waiting for it to recharge, it started raining. And so I went into panic mode because that was our final day to shoot with Bailey. Luckily things worked out. We had to change a few things in the script, cut a few lines out. Then another thing that really went wrong was the whole relationship story in the film. Because in the movie, you know, there's the love story between Sam and Bailey. That was not in the script. I had no desire to do that. Because the way I had written the script, it wasn't a love story, it was a friendship story. A story about trust between 2 friends. From the very get-go, Carl wanted me to put a love story in the film, and I said I didn't want to do it for several reasons, some of them being personal and others being practical. It came down to the actual day of filming. By that time I kind of realized the script was a little flat in that area. I resigned at the very last second that there really did need to be some sort of relationship story. The thing about that though is we had to go back and add a whole love story that didn't exist before when we were filming before. And that was one of the many things we had to change.
Everybody knows that you guys got a thing for each other.
Editing the movie was another really difficult thing because not only did production run late, but we had to keep making changes in the script to compensate for people who couldn't actually be there when we needed them to be in the scene. So it came down to the fact that we needed to start editing while we were still filming the movie, otherwise we wouldn't make the deadline of November 19th. So I edited all the footage of the movie, and then Carl edited all the special effects, and I think he did like an amazing job on it. Like, I would never have been able to do some of the tricks he did with all like gun flashing and the from night to day. That was a major special effect. That was the reason we were doing special effects in the movie. Like I had said before, with Bailey on her last day, we had to shoot one shot of it at night, whereas the rest of the shot had been done during the day. So Carl had to take all the day shots and make them look like they were night to match this one shot, and I think he hated doing it, but we spent long hours in the MCC Media Center editing the special effect.
Oh my god. This has sucked. So many technical difficulties. Oh man. Finally though, it looks like it's gonna be good this time. We're probably gonna find out that we have to go back and fix it again. Film Fest is tomorrow. This is amateur hour right now, like trying to finish it at last second. I'm back to Minecraft.
Carl's gonna go watch videos of people playing Minecraft.
I've never played the game before, but it's just so fascinating.
It came down to the movie premiere was really a very exciting time for all of us, really, because it was fulfilling a personal goal that I've had for years to make a real quality feature-length film that's a story and all original and everything like that. I'd tried it so many times already. Like Service Project was my first attempt. It failed. Indiana Jones and the Hollywood Grail was another attempt that almost worked, but then it didn't end up working. And then so finally when this one came along, I was super excited because we finished filming and it was over an hour long, so it qualified as a feature. And that was just for a personal goal, but it was also a goal for the film club because it was a major milestone. We had only been a club for about a year, officially less than a year, unofficially for a year, and we had already made a feature film, which is nothing to shake a stick at for a new club with only like 5 members. So it was a major milestone, and I'm proud to have been part of it, and I'm sure everybody else is proud to have been part of it too. And it was a long, hard road, but well worth it. World premiere of Sam's Comics the movie. It's the first feature film of the film club here on campus, and a really big moment for them, for us, I should say. So, thank you, and I hope everybody, Carl's telling me to wrap it up, so please enjoy this film, and let's get on with it.
You just got beat up by a bro, girl.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm a bro.
Yeah.
You walked off screen.
And I went to screen, so I mean, like...
Okay, like...
You should like tell, it should be more like, you should peek around my corner and be like, damn, bro, you got beat up by a girl.
He called me a girl.
Called me a bro. Thank you so much.
Okay,
I guess my breasts mean nothing.
Back and then...
Dude, hey, bro. Dude, bro.
Holmes. Hey, Holmes, you got beat by a girl, man. Okay, so, scene 14, take 3. Ready, Shannon?
Yep.
And action.
Bro, you got beat up by a girl.
And cut. Let's go.